I'm Julie Herman of Jaybird Quilt and Lazy Girl Designs, and welcome to the Gravity Block of the Month. I will be here each month to give an overview of the blocks for that month. We are now in month 4. Month 4 is called Intergalactic. And just as we did for the previous months, 2 blocks, same pattern, different colors. So this month we have kind of a lime green block, and then we have a purplish, little hints of pink block. You can see it up here in the finished quilt, and the green one is down here. You can only see part of it. So here is what it looks like. We are going to be exploring strip piecing this month. So we are going to sew some strip sets together, and then we're going to cut diamonds from those, and we'll also be cutting triangles. So we can do all of that with the Super Sidekick Ruler. So let's get started.
Working from our Gravity pattern books, we're on page 18 to make block 4, and following the cutting directions on pages 6 and 8.
As I just mentioned, we are in month 4, and this block is called Intergalactic. And just like we've been doing in the previous months, 2 blocks. One thing that's different this month is we are going to sew a strip set and then cut our shape from that strip set. So similar to the other months, we're going to start with our 10-inch squares, go to cut pieces, and then our blocks. And again, these labels are available as a free download from me to you. If you don't have them yet, the link is in the caption below. If you are using the Northcott kit, your fabric should be in the order that we will be using them. The directions for this block are on page 18. And you can see that for C and for F, we're going to go ahead and cut triangles. We have cut triangles twice now, so I'm not going to show you that again. If you need a refresher on cutting triangles, we did that in months 2 and month 3. What I am going to show you is our strip sets. So you can see that for 4 of our fabrics, we're not going to immediately cut shapes with the Super Sidekick or the Hexamore ruler. We are going to first cut strips. So follow your directions on page 18 so you know which ones to cut strips from. And what we're going to do is we're going to take those strips and make them into strip sets.
So as I mentioned, once you cut your strips, we're going to go ahead and sew them together into a strip set. And we want to be sewing with a scant 1/4 inch, and that is 1 thread over from what is considered a true 1/4 inch. And what that will do is make our piece measure the correct measurement when we are finished. If you sew with a true 1/4 inch, there often ends up being too much fabric in the seam allowance, and this will measure under what you need it to measure. So I suggest cutting some test pieces and getting to know your machine so that you know what settings on your machine help you best get that perfect scant 1/4 inch that will give you accurate measuring pieces. So I'm just going to go ahead, sew this seam, and press it open and head back on over to the cutting mat.
So what should this piece measure? This should measure 4.5 inches. So let's give it a check. And it perfectly does. The top of my ruler lines up with the top of the strip, and the bottom of my ruler lines up at the base of my strip. I'll show you what that looks like with the Super Sidekick as well. So my 4.5 inch solid line is up there, and the base of my ruler is down here. And now I am going to cut the diamonds that I need for my block from this strip set. And I just noticed that I have this upside down from how it is shown on page 18, but have no fear. The diamond is reversible, so if you do cut it upside down, it will still work. But let me show you the proper way, which is we're going to line up the 4.5 inch on the top of the strip, the base of our ruler down here. Hold that in place and trim. I think I need to put a new blade in here. And then we're going to go ahead, just as we did when cutting diamonds in month 1, we're going to rotate this piece around, take our ruler, line it back up, find our 4.5 inch diamond line, since we need 4.5 inch diamonds this month. And another double check is this dashed line below 2.5 should be on this seam. So if you find that it's way too high or way too low and your piece isn't measuring right, that's kind of a red flag to you that something might be off. So always good to measure twice, cut once, do a double check, and cut. And then if I'm working on the stellar pillow, I can go ahead and take those stitches out, and these are the right size to go ahead and cut my triangles for my stellar pillow at the end of the book. So now you see whether it's this way or this way. That is one thing to think about though when we head on over to the machine, is that if you want your block to match mine, orientation matters because it is easy at the machine to get turned around. So once I have this, I can go ahead and label it if I want. This is kind of a combination A-B piece. So I could just put both of them together. And then I'm just going to repeat those steps to piece together enough strip sets to cut all of the diamonds I need from A and B, as well as from D and E. And once I'm finished doing that, we'll head on over to the machine so I can show you how we're going to begin to piece this block together. Thanks for watching. If this video was helpful for you, be sure to like it, leave a comment below, and subscribe to the channel. Show us your progress on your gravity blocks in our Facebook group. We'd love to see how you're coming along with your quilt. The link to the Facebook group is below. I'll be back here in the next video to show you how to piece block 4.